Let's hit record on here. All right, we are recording. I think we made a little bit of a boo-boo maybe with our calendar times because guys, thank you for turning up. Apparently there was some different times that got sent in our emails, so we'll have the recording this. We'll put this on our Facebook page and YouTube and remind people when they can watch it later. But Polly, we've got Polly here today from Maybe Tech. Hey Polly, how are you?
I'm very well, Gary.
You're
Very nice.
over in chilly England somewhere, judging by the jumper you've got on anyway.
Yeah, it is cold. Yeah, it's very. It's sunny during the day now, but it's still really chilly at night.
All right. Well, I'm on the sunny coast in Australia, and then we've got people in different locations all over the place. So, guys, we are going to talk about agentic AI today. Polly, I know you've got a presentation to go through. Guys, if you've got any questions as you go through, if you want to drop them in the chat, and we'll get those across to Polly as we go through as well. And so, Polly, I just want to introduce you and let you introduce yourself and talk about Maybe Tech and all the awesome things that you guys are doing with AI. And what agentic AI is. Now, I have to confess, right? When you put this in for your talk and talking about agentic AI, I actually had to look it up because I didn't know what the word agentic meant. So I don't know. There's probably other people that knew before me, but I had to look it up. So the definition of Google the definition that I found when I Googled was agentic AI refers to AI systems that exhibit autonomous decision making, goal-oriented behavior, and the ability to adapt and learn, enabling them to perform complex tasks with minimal human intervention. Sounds like Skynet, all right? But
I'm going to be gentle with you. I'm going to go one step at a time. Don't worry.
okay, yeah, be generous because if I had to look up the definition of it, obviously I'm clearly not ready for that. Like I was just getting into other things like ChatGPT and Manus and all these kind of things as well. But would you like to, if you want to give us an introduction about yourself and Maybe Tech and what you guys have been doing over the past 12 months-ish, I think, since you guys
Yep.
launched, maybe a touch longer. But yeah, please, let's tell us all about Maybe Tech and what you guys are doing.
Great. So yeah, well, maybe we believe that AI should be something that every business, regardless of size or technical capability, should be able to deploy. We've been using AI for close to 7 years now. We won a big government contract about 7 years ago where we had to process the data for 3.9 million businesses and report back about how people were feeling across over 3,000 towns in the UK. So we've got a team that are really good at data and AI. And then so a couple of things happened sort of 2 years ago, which is that we were running our business on HubSpot and at the same time doing quite a hard pivot towards AI because we were using AI internally more and more and more. And I said to the team, hey, you know what, that we should, this is the thing we're really good at. We should double down on AI. And so we're getting pretty fed up with HubSpot and made a strategic decision to switch to Go High Level. So we run Go High Level. We have two Go High Level agencies actually, but one has, I think, close to 1,200 clients on it now. And then we've built out our AI platform both as a native platform that you can log into as a standalone product, but also we've created it as an app within High Level. So we're very much we're huge High Level fans, but it's also enabled us to double down on our agentic piece that I'm going to show you today.
Awesome. So, yeah, I do know a bit about you guys and what you're doing, your dev and stuff like that, and the team that you work with. But yeah, if you want to, yeah, do you want to go into your presentation, or would you like to explain a bit more about Agentic and how that's different to,
Um,
you
I'm
know?
going to go through all of that in the presentation. I'm very happy to take questions on the way through it. So bear with me because it is 20 to 1 in the UK and I've gone to bed and got back up again. So I'm not quite sharp enough. You can sharpen me up. Is that all right?
Is it 20 to 1 in the morning?
It's 20 to 1 in the morning, Gary.
Oh God. Well, thank you for getting up. I didn't go to bed till 1:30 a.m. myself, so it's
Exactly.
night.
So we're all equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah. I think Australia is like the worst place in the world to run a global business, to be honest, because when we're awake, everybody's asleep. And then when I'm going to bed, everybody's waking up and sending messages. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep now.
I'll share my screen.
Yeah, thanks, Polly.
Um, Are we good?
Perfect. Yep, can see that perfectly.
Beautiful. Okay. So making workflows agentic is my task of this evening, but we're going to start at the beginning and sort of think about what are AI agents and take this one step at a time. But as I say, please do ask questions as you go through. I haven't got Gary. Please interrupt me if somebody's got a hand up or something. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep an eye.
Brilliant. So just by way of introduction, I run a team. There are about 15 of us in the UK, and then we've got a team that Gary knows quite well in Asia that build at the front end of our tech. We're sort of very deep tech team, and we focus on product APIs and data. I'm really privileged to work with a really smart, great team. We're very agile. We focus on innovation. Our largest client's the UK government, and we work with PLCs and a lot of SMEs. But our sort of biggest claim to fame is we've processed 3.9 million businesses' social media data for a 5-year period, and then we trained over 25,000 businesses as well. And that's really where we've really focused on AI. As I say, we've now integrated our platform very deeply with Go High Level, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. I'm right in saying, Gary, that everybody on the webinar would all be Go High Level clients?
I would hope so. I know Craig, I know Bern, Howard, Daryl, Pedro. Give us a yes in the comment. I assume that you guys are. Everybody should be high level. Nodding,
Cool.
thumbs up. Perfect, guys. Howard, we can't
Excellent.
see you, but we're going to assume that you are.
Excellent. So I'm very much to talk to you about how our AI works within High Level, but it can also work standalone as well. And we've got a large amount of clients doing that too. But I'll very much talk to you about how we can accelerate workflows within High Level. If you stick it back to the end, I've got something exciting for you as well. So the agenda today, we're going to go through what are AI agents, how to build an AI agent, the impact that agents have on workflows, how you can get started today, and FAQs. But as I say, as we go through, please feel free to ask questions as we go. Don't wait till the end. So what are AI agents? I'd be fascinated to know before we kick off, has anybody sort of got experience of working with AI agents, where you are on the journey? For a score from 1 to 10, with 1 being you haven't started, 10 being you've absolutely mastered it, and you're just here to check out whether I know what I'm talking about. I'd love to have some idea of where you are in your use of AI agents. So as Gary mentioned at the beginning, that we've all using ChatGPT, but agents is the next layer on. So it'd be great to understand where anybody is with that. I can't see the chat, Gary, so I'm guessing you can and I can't.
I can. I haven't seen anyone put anything in there, but yeah, guys, if you want to drop that in there where you are sort of 1 to starting, maybe 10, you're an expert. I would say for me, I think I'm pretty good. And then I talk to like my devs or people like Mario from HL Pro Tools and realize I'm an absolute dummy and know nothing at all. I'm like, God, there's so much that I don't know, you know. And I have like, we set up with chat bots, and I've got little marketing assistants for me in ChatGPT and stuff like that. But I know that really I'm scratching the surface of stuff on what I do, to be honest.
Right, and thanks. So everybody's sort of saying you're really at the beginning of the journey, and I think, to be honest, look, we're deeply into this, and I still feel every single day that I'm at the beginning of the journey. Let's be really frank here. We are all on the edge of a revolution that's happening at breakneck speed. It's really exciting. It can do incredible things for businesses, and particularly those that are already adopting GHL. You're already a long way ahead of the curve, but the opportunity that you have in front of you for both your business and your clients is huge. So don't shy away from it. Embrace it. I think it's incredibly exciting.
It's changing so fast all the time.
Just breakneck speed. But it's easy to get really blown away by this. But the most important thing and where to start is make sure that AI agents get to do the boring stuff. There's so much that we've all got a great big piling, steaming list of things that we need to get done in our business. And often a lot of that is quite repetitive. Those are the candidates for using an AI agent. That stuff is what agents do really, really well. Don't make it complicated. Keep it simple and do it one bite at a time. And the great thing about AI agents is they don't answer back. You can't really break stuff with them. And start with something small and get bigger. And I'm going to show you a really good example of that as we go through here today. So the business challenges, think of AI agents as a way to sort stuff out. So AI agents transform businesses. They're great at fixing operational inefficiency, so repetitive stuff, time-consuming stuff, tasks that drain productivity, data fragmentation. So, we all spend far too long creating reports, shoveling data around from place to place, not being able to share insights between, I know, Google and Facebook, for example. Well, imagine being able to ask an agent, how's my traffic on Google looking based upon the Facebook campaign I launched last week. We've built integrations with Google and with Facebook. So literally, if you decide to plug those two things into your maybe platform and ask a question, you can start to have conversational reporting with various data sources. One of the things that we're working really hard with GHL on is being able to put in all of the CRM data. So literally, you can just ask questions around when was the last time somebody signed up and all sorts of exciting things like that. AI implementation complexity, managing multiple disconnected solutions. Again, we've really focused on making sure that we've got integrations with key business systems like High Level, but also we have an API and we have a connection with Make, and so you can make pretty much anything and link any system together with your High Level and an AI agent. So it is a proper recipe making solution, and I'm going to show you one of those built out later on. So the business benefits which apply to both your business and your clients are increased efficiency 24/7. You've all seen a bit of AI with some of the stuff that High Level are doing. I think you'll see a lot more stuff coming out over the next 12 months. We're already there with a lot of it, and we're here to help you make it happen. AI agents are great at reducing errors, improving quality, enhancing. You can get stuff done faster, so business agility becomes much easier, and scalability as you or your clients' businesses grow. And then this whole concept of dynamic adjustment to changing conditions. So, for example, we are using Agentic support, which again I'll demo to you in a minute. It's something we've been doing for a long time now. But I was really nervous when we first started doing it. At the time, we had some really big support contracts running. At some days, we were dealing up to 1,000 with 1,000 people asking very similar questions. And I just said to the team, "This is insane. Why are we doing this manually when AI could answer it?" And we very carefully switched it on, looked at the answers, and thought, "Do you know what? Those are good." And we flicked the switch. We let it now run autonomously. There's no human in the loop. We don't answer our own questions. The AI does it for us, and it gets past us off to us when the AI can't answer the question. But our customer satisfaction went up. Our Trustpilot ratings went up, and we had 93% of questions answered within 15 seconds, and everybody loving it 24 hours a day. We've even run social campaigns where we let it answer directly on Facebook and Instagram, and it's quite scary when you do that. But when you've trained it so that it knows your voice inside out and back to front, and it knows your business inside out and back to front better than your team, actually, because none of us, I don't know everything about our platform, so I can't always answer something. So we all do that. We get blocked. We then have to go and ask somebody else. But you get Agentic AI right, and it can really, really change the way you deliver stuff via web chat, social, email. It's actually with emails is interesting. It doesn't always format them terribly well, but the content's good. We're still figuring that out with the GHL a bit, but yeah, it's really, think of AI agents as a team of people. I think if you don't think about them as agents, but actually think about somebody I want you to ask to do something, and imagine you don't have to pay them. There's no budget because the incremental cost is tiny. We don't see them as a way of taking away from our team, but we seem a way of giving our team superpowers. And the only real limitation is your imagination. There is so little that they can't do. It's kind of frightening. I get kind of frustrated when you hear people talk about agents, and it's sometimes very focused on lead gen or scraping or things like that. And there's so much more they can do. So from a CRM perspective, absolutely, agents can help with onboarding. They can help you follow up. They can help you do lead qualification. They do workflows, task creations, client interaction agents. But actually, the sky is the limit. And we believe that ultimately workflows will get smaller, because rather than there being so many different complex things you've got to add to a workflow, like, for example, add a tag, create a custom field, all of those things can be taken care of by an agent. We've created all of the endpoints with the GHL CRM so that literally you can start to have an agent take a contact, add a tag, create a custom field, do something with it. And the flow I'm going to show you later on is how we've literally taken our meeting process so that we can have a call, generate, follow up, create a proposal, and build a white paper, all from a Fireflies call. And it's going to absolutely transform our business. We're really excited. And I haven't presented to anybody else yet, so you're going to see that. But there is no one blueprint for an AI agent. It's what does your business need to stop doing on a regular basis, and how can you take the knowledge you have and actually turn it into a process that an AI agent can deliver for you. And but take out that word AI agent and just think about it as writing a standard operating procedure that you're going to give to somebody who you trust to do that process inside out.
Can I ask you a question, Polly? Just sorry to interrupt
Yes,
you, but
please do.
because I think you're right, and with GHL, this is going out to our community, which are predominantly the GHL community, which are predominantly focused on lead gen, booking an appointment to a calendar. That's probably what most people are doing, right? What is it you think that is stopping people and holding them back from actually going to the next level and doing stuff like this? Is it, well, I don't know, but is it, just the fact they haven't thought about it because it's still pretty new? You look at this and go, oh God, that seems so difficult to do. I couldn't possibly do it. Like, how do we improve and encourage people to take these kind of adoptions and, embrace it, I guess, and maybe they're just not even thinking about it at the moment it's still so new in all honesty, these things.
Yeah, I think there's a really good analogy that somebody showed me the other day, which is when the motor car first arrived, everybody was told you can't just drive it. You've got to have somebody walking in front with a red flag before you can go fast, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's the people that throw away the red flag right now that are going to really succeed with this. This stuff doesn't bite you. You won't get it wrong. It can be made unnecessarily complicated, and you can end up having to stick too many systems together, and that's not necessary. We're very focused on making it really easy, really affordable. In fact, zero cost to start with, and to support it, because I think what it offers to every smaller business has got an opportunity to rub shoulders with giants if they get this right. And we're really passionate about being people with AI partner and making that possible. So yeah, it won't bite you. We'll show you how you can get started in a bit, but honestly, particularly, it's also a service that you can sell to your clients. And once you've got your client started on it, you're booking a recurring revenue for your business for a long time. So in the same way that with GHL, there's a learning curve. Yeah, there's a learning curve with this, but I guarantee you it's much, much smaller than GHL itself. That's that we know it's an amazing platform, but there's lots you have to learn on it. This, once you start with it, you'll go, I get it. But you just got to step off the edge and say, okay, let's start. And then you'll think, okay, I get it. And
Gary's stepping off the edge of anything, though, Polly, right?
yeah, just don't fall.
Quick question. Quick question, Polly.
Yeah.
So with GHL and with maybe the AI employee or the AI features within GHL, is this an add-on to that, a replacement of that, or just a co-partner with the AI employee within Go High Level? How do they work together? How do they fit together?
Yeah, great question, Pedro. I'm going to show you in a minute actually how your AI, which is what we call our product inside GHL works. It's a standalone app within GHL, and so you can use it alongside your AI employee. We do have there are some things that we do the same, but there are some things that we do very differently, and we give you much more scope to do more. So I think we're at that very, as Gary said, quite an early stage with AI in a way, and so there's lots of different ways of doing it. We've taken the approach of you can use it to do everything from craft emails, write content, but the key thing with all those things is it exactly knows your business. But also from there, you can then build workflows. So what's interesting is that you're then, once you've trained your AI to be you, when you then put it into a workflow, it talks as your brand. You haven't got to keep retraining it, so that it's just a very comprehensive solution. So let me keep going, and I think Pedro, you'll see where I'm coming from. But you can keep pushing me on that question as we go through. Does that sound fair? So how we help your business build agents is that if I just step back and look at where our journey started, we know that every business out there is pretty much a steaming pile of data. We've all got processes that maybe aren't quite as straight as they should be, and we got data that's in different places and it's hard to get to. So our approach to delivering an AI solution is to say it's got to be zero code. You don't need to be technical about to use it. We want to help you get from A to B as fast as you possibly can. Critically, and Pedro, this goes to one of the questions you just asked about GHL itself. It's not single LLM. So what we do is when you ask a question within the Maybe platform, each question is then answered by a separate LLM. So it chooses whether it uses Claude or Perplexity or GPT or in DeepSeek if you've got that plugin turned on. So you've got access to, and we've got things like Mistral, Grok, Gemini, Stable Diffusion. So you've got the whole sort of stable of biggest LLMs you've got access to. And then you've got this concept of private team and company in the platform. So you can use it to work out how to say something in an email, but at the same time, you can create an automation with it that can work across your whole platform or for your clients. So you've got all of your AI tools in one place. Your data is totally secure and private. We never, ever train the model with it. And we find this is really important for some of our larger clients. They want to have control over their data sovereignty. So if you've got a larger client and they'll go, where's my data? You might need to be able to say, where is that data living? And we provide you the ability to be able to say it's living in Asia or it's living in UK, or we're UK based. We've got some clients that will not let their data leave the UK, and that means you need quite a sort of complex set of settings, but we can make that happen.
We just explain that as well, Pauline. Maybe you're going to get to it because I know when I first spoke to your team about this, and they explained to me how Maybe Tech was using the LLM models and the fact that it's a different set. Sorry, not a different set of information, but a different way of processing it. Because if you process information through like the public GPTs, that then becomes public knowledge and part of that public data set. Whereas you're not doing that. You're actually keeping any data that we put in and process through your platform is kept private, so it won't become part of data on the web or data in ChatGPT and replies and stuff like that. That's
great question, Gary.
I think that's an important point to kind of put with this as well to the security of your information.
Massively so. So it's particularly with using ChatGPT. If you're using the free product, it's free for a reason, because the payback is your data is going to the model. And so you have to ask yourself, if you're using any of what I call the open platforms, where you're not paying or you're paying a sort of limited amount of money, let's call it the sort of $20 a month level. And every platform is different and the rules change quite regularly. But you shouldn't put anything in there that you wouldn't want somebody else to find. Think of it in the sense of, I always think of if you ask ChatGPT right now, what does it know about Gary Capps, and you like the response, Gary, don't just imagine next time you use it, think if what I'm asking, would I want it to be able to add to my record? And if the answer is no, then don't do it.
Yeah,
And
because I know,
particularly,
sorry, Polly, I know quite a few people that are using ChatGPT and stuff, and they're putting in their financials in there, and they're going, "Hey, this is what's going on in our business at the moment. Can you create a business plan, a marketing plan, suggest what we should do?" And they give it all the data, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't like the idea of that."
no. I mean, you got to just say to yourself, would I want to see that again? If I go and ask ChatGPT something about my business and something I've already given it then got repeated back to me, and that means somebody else can access it, would I feel happy? The answer is no, don't do it. Everything you do inside your AI, inside maybe, is totally private. It's totally secure, and it will not be used to train the model. So we have an enterprise license with ChatGPT, which means that it's just totally secure. It's never used. It's the same level of security that Morgan Stanley use with OpenAI. So it's just not your data is safe. It's not going in the model, and it will never be repeated back to you outside of your maybe account, which is really, really important. Do not share your business information or your client's business information with an open with a ChatGPT account or a Claude or a Perplexity, unless you're sitting on an enterprise layer.
Yeah, I think it's something that people don't think a lot about right now, and it's kind of like the early days of the internet where people would post it, pictures of whatever, and they didn't care about it. It's like, oh, whatever, it's just on the internet, no one's going to see it. I feel like some of this information is going to surface back up again in models later on, and people just haven't even
Oh my
thought about
goodness,
it
yeah,
right now.
there are going to be some very red faces at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, someone was asking a question. Was it Daryl or sorry, someone was asking a question there as well.
I was going to ask, so for clients or who live in various parts of the world, where would that data reside? The private data that we enter.
So we have an EU contract with OpenAI. So we use OpenAI as our base layer of infrastructure, but we also attach all the other LLMs. So the data is based on an EU server, and it's subject to the EU AI regulations, which is some of the most stringent. So that gives you quite great protection. If you have a requirement for the data to be somewhere else, as I said, we can make that happen. So talk to us. We're here to be spoken to.
Cool. And Michael's just typed in and says, could this be used for a financial institution?
Yes, it could. And we do. We are working with financial institutions.
Perfect. Thanks, Polly.
Pleasure. Here we go. So just to give you a little bit more look under the hood, our engine is your AI is what it's all about. We call it your AI because it is truly yours. Once you connect it to your business via your website and via your high level account, it thinks like you, it talks like you, it is you. And so imagine all of your business information securely, or your client's information securely connected to every LLM model you can imagine, connected to your GHL account. And then you've got things like, and these are some of the services that we're delivering out to clients as well. Imagine that you've got a compliance guardian for your business that says, these are the things we never do to a client, these are the things we do. These are our rules and regulations. So for example, we're working with some agent clients where they've got certain regulation, they've got certain ways that content mustn't be created. So there's a compliance guide that sits alongside it. So you don't have to go and check stuff because we just know there's an agent that's done that. A synthetic crowd. So imagine building an audience that looks like your client's customers. So every time some content's created, before it goes out, it actually goes past the synthetic audience that tells you why the ad's going to bomb or why the email's going to bomb, because they read it before you send it out. And they can be built as a Gen Z audience, or they can be built as boomers. They can be built as they can be plugged into real live social media feeds, so they react based upon what's going on. The opportunities for doing clever stuff with this are huge. Reporting engines that build out templates around reading Facebook, reading Google, and creating content. Obviously, that's something everybody's got very familiar with ChatGPT, but as everybody knows, sometimes it can get quite bland. Once you've plugged it into all of your data and then give it the rules, it's a very different beast. Now, your AI agents are about creating an agent for each one of these tasks, or maybe multiple agents for these tasks, because the narrower you build an agent, the better it does the task. In the same way with your team, if you ask your team to do too much, the stuff never gets done. If you ask them to do a specific job, they do it really well, and that's what each of these agents can be plugged into all of the LLMs, a piece of your data, and be given access to your compliance guardian, for example, and say, could you always just answer the emails when they come in? Some examples so things, for example, that we're doing that shows that really well. Working with a state agent right now to automate all of their quotations. So when the emails come in saying, could you come value my house? The AI is immediately reading the emails in real time, and then based upon quotations that have been sent out in the past, building the quotation on the fly. So it's cutting down massive amounts of time. And processes like that sometimes are an 8-step, 9-step process that take 10 days to happen within a business. Using AI and an agent or a string of agents built together, you can deliver that in seconds. And that's the sort of thing that we can help you learn to do. Speed to lead. So, Gary, as you were saying around lead generation, being able to take a Facebook lead coming in and then using Agentic AI. And this is your mixing bowl to be able to say, right, I'm going to use, get them onto WhatsApp, for example, and then have a conversation with them back and forth to qualify them and get them to the next stage of the journey. We're seeing a lot of clients do that unbelievably well, because it's about the speed at which you talk to that person. And that is where Agentic absolutely excels. So should we dive in and have a little look? We do this in let's do it, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So this is your AI inside. It's not going to work. It's not work. Hold on while I just faff around for 2 seconds. See my crazy desktop.
Goodness me. At least you don't have a million tabs open, unless that's just one browser window. You've got another one with a million tabs.
I did actually a little tidy up before I sloped off. So here we go.
Right, so this is looking pretty familiar. So this is inside high level.
Yeah. So I'm now inside our high level instance, and it's got the GHL. So I'm in my GHL, and I've got your AI installed. So I'm going to give you all a link to be able to go and install the app as well. It's an app that just sits inside your GHL account. Make sense?
So I just want to make sure everybody knows as well. So you do have a paid services. We haven't actually talked about this or set up any offer or anything, Polly, but I'm sure you have something for people at the end.
I'm not trying to take money off. I'm not trying to take money off you right now, Gary.
No. I just want to make sure everybody knows. So if they do this, I think you have like a free demo that you can install, because we do this for information for people. So I just want to make sure that they know that there'll be a demo or something, and yeah, they can pay for the service later on if they want, right? But we haven't actually set anything up here before. This was just to do a call, right?
Yeah. So I'm showing you the art of the possible. If you will give you a link to install the app, no credit card, no money. You start using it, you get $10 worth of credit, which when you imagine every time you press this button, it costs you 0.03 cents. Yeah. You can press the button a lot of times before you need to pay any money. So and you get support and help and all the rest of it. So I'm not here selling you. I'm here showing you how you can put your toe in the water, step off the edge, and start using Agentic AI inside a high level, and it's really powerful. So you've got access to a team of 8. Is that all right, Gary? I don't want to step on any toes.
No, that's absolutely fine. I just, because we do these every week, and we always do it to bring value. And I just want to make sure people know that, yeah, we're not doing like pitch fest, because like we're not making anything out of this. We bring people in that we like their tools and what they're doing. We're not making any money out of this. We've got no affiliate code or whatever for this thing. It's like, yeah, cool, Polly's got some great stuff. If you like it, buy it. That would be awesome. Polly would love it. and we think you should because we think it's a cool tool, right?
Thank you, Gary. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, this looks like ChatGPT, but it's sort of got some fair whistle and bells on. It's sat inside your high level account, so it knows who you are. And when you install it, you can install it across all of your clients' accounts as well. And it appears in the same way, except in their case, it knows who they are. You've got a fleet of agents ready built, and you could be more agents here, so you can see all your agents here. All of the agents are already built for you, and you have the tools to add more as well. So right out the bat, so to speak, you've got a creative content writer, you've got data analysts, you've got special offer designers, all sorts of different agents that do things in a different way. But each of these agents can be connected to the workflows within GHL. I'm not going to go into that now because we could sort of lose the call, and we'll run out of time. But install it, and then you'll jump on a call with one of our team, and they'll set it up for you and show you exactly what you can do. But with this, you've got the tools to create agents for your clients, and once you're happy with it, you can then rebill your clients. All of the Stripe integration is built in here as well. So, if I just say to it right now, and the reason why the agents are good is ask creative content writer here. It knows I maybe. This is bound to go wrong, so I'm doing it live. I never do this. It's a bad idea. No, here we go. Ask creative content writer, please write.
You never write caps and shout at your AI, Polly. It's going to come back to bite you when it gets.
I always say please.
Yeah.
You always say
when it gets sentient, it's going to come for you if you don't say please and thank you.
Please make a blog that explores. Now, we all know that it doesn't work if you write short prompts into ChatGPT, but because I'm not writing a short prompt, what's sitting behind the creative content writer is an agent in its own right. So it's got a whole bunch of instructions behind it. That means, and I can add files if I want to, so I can add I don't need to add my brand guidelines or any of the instructions that's already in there. Because you've got an agent sitting behind this, you've already got massive instructions behind it. So if I was asking for a social post, I would use the social content writer. One of the big releases that's coming out this week is that you don't have to choose the agents anymore. The AI is going to decide which agent to use and which LLM to use all by itself. So it's deciding which LLM to use right now. It's taking the instructions from the creative content writer. It knows that I'm maybe, and so you can see how it's written quite a detailed blog from a minimal instruction. You don't get that if you use ChatGPT. Is that a fair comment? Would everybody on the same page as that?
Yeah, if I just back that up a step there, Polly, because I know when we set this up and we onboarded it, there is just so you have all these agents in here. So the agents have their description already of what they are. So like the copyright one, so you are an expert copywriter, etc., etc. For guidelines for that. When you onboard and you set up your AI, the first thing that this asks you to do though is to say, okay, what's the name of your company? What's your URL? So it will ask you the guidelines for your company first of all. So then it adds that part to the, hey, you are a content writer, which is kind of pre-programmed from you guys. And then you put in your brand at the start when you set this up, right? So that way it knows you're a content writer for this brand. So I think you just need to make sure that people understand that that has to be done at the start before. This is not a big process, like it's very simple and very easy, but that's just the one-time thing that you do when you get this set up to make sure that it has your voice and your brand and your information behind it that the pre-built agents can apply to their knowledge. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. And same for your clients. You literally go through a process where you fill in the website, you add it to your account, and then you fill in your website, and then you can choose to upload some other. You can upload further information if you like, and then every time you ask any of the agents to do anything, whether it's here around content or whether it's putting into one of the workflows, it is intrinsically knows how to be you. You don't have to set it up again. That's what's really smart about it.
Yeah. So I think it's just very important for people because it's a very easy step to do. But yeah, I think people just need to make sure they know that it's like an onboarding thing, just to kind of tell your agent who they're working for, basically, which is it's pretty much simple, like a form, basically. But it's very cool once it's done that, and then it understands all that, and you can keep it learning as well. Like you can add to that as well, and everything later on, and make them even smarter. Like you say, plugging them into social feeds and information, train them as much as you want, give them more information. Very cool.
Yeah, and we're building out the integrations all the time. So you can, what good looks like for us is you say to an agent, write me some social posts, but it writes social posts knowing how your social content performed last week, or it writes a blog knowing how your Google, what your bounce rate was like. So it works out which blog it should be writing, what type of blogs it should be writing based on what's worked previously. And it's all that's where Agentic really comes in, where and that's very much the next sort of release of agents that we're pushing out, where we'll force you, if you hadn't, for example, here, connected your Google Analytics before we write the blog, you'll say, oh, you haven't connected Google, could you go and do that? Because then you know that agent's got access to all the right information. Because then you're doing your best job possible without actually having to do the work yourself. And the same for your clients. Imagine being able to say to your clients, every time you create content, it's doing it based upon what's worked best previously. It's really smart. And that same process applies to workflows around open rates on emails and all that sort of great stuff. It's thinking, well, how would I love to do this if I had time? And that's what an agent can do because of all the plugins we've built. You can say, right, I want this agent to behave like this, but do it based upon the data from my system. And that's what I'm really excited about. But I'm very conscious of time, so shall I crack on?
Yes, please.
I probably I always try to do this, try and talk about too many things, but it's too exciting. So
I know, because when you're in it all the time when you're using it, it's like, I find the same thing when I'm talking about like myCRMSIM. It's very easy to kind of skip past some little things because for me it's so obvious on certain things, and
keep me up to speed, Gary. Keep me straight.
It's all good. And I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning for you now, right? So you're ready to go back to bed.
So if I'm talking gibberish, I'm sorry. So within your workflows, you imagine you've now got the ability to add any of these function calls, and then like you prompt ChatGPT, and like I've just shown you on Maybe, that you can add to any workflow, get a calendar and say to the instruction on the workflow, add to calendar, create an event. And as long as you add these plugins, all of those things which previously are processes can happen agentically. This is mind-blowing when you think about it. It means that your workflows could reduce to just one block, and that all of that complexity starts to go away. This journey is really exciting, and very happy to take some of you along on that journey with us. But it's just the idea that you can make workflows agentic by giving an agent instructions and then giving it the endpoint to GHL so that your CRM gets populated. If you can hold this thought about this and then come with me on my little journey and show you on what we're doing.
Yeah. So these are custom actions basically for new workflows, right?
Absolutely. So you can build custom fields dynamically. Everything you can do in a workflow, you can now do in an agent, is the easiest way to put it. Yeah. Yep. Which makes life much simpler. Every plugin comes with an expert support, and we've got articles coming out of our ears. So every plugin has a corresponding Notion article, and we talk through how you use it. This is talking through how the agents get built. I'm not showing you this today, but you can build agents really, really easily just using natural language, and then they all appear in your workflow. So you can then add them just by selecting them and then instructing it like you would ChatGPT. But rather than just instructing ChatGPT, you're instructing an agent that knows who you are, is connected to your business, is connected to your CRM, and is then connected to the plugins within GHL. So suddenly, something which is a big thing to make happen becomes set it up once and it will do it forever. End of.
Yeah, because you've got the custom GPT actions in workflows, and we've used them. But this is better because if I put a custom GPT action in, it's like an island in the middle of the ocean, basically. It doesn't know anything outside, and I have to put in there and say, hey, you are replying to a message from, you are an agent for this website, give it the URL, all that kind of information. You have to pretty much like program each one in silo, whereas you don't have to do that in this.
Correct. It's got context.
Yeah.
It behaves like a person in that you don't have to keep saying to it, remember, you work for maybe.
Yeah.
Or remember, you work for myCRMSIM. It knows and it behaves accordingly. And whatever rules you give it, if you change your prices, your products. And so think about your clients, think about people that are running restaurants. Imagine if the agent always knew the menu, it always knew the new events you've got coming up. It really is a real game changer. And coming very soon, coming this month, is a whole new agent builder section to maybe as well, where you can build your own agents using natural language, where literally you'll say, I want to build an agent to do that, and it will suggest all the plugins, and so you can build your own, and this is really exciting. So watch this space, coming soon. You heard this here first, and you'll have access to that. How do you get access to it? If you just go to maybe.com/GHL, you can literally sign up. We give you $10 in credit. It doesn't sound like very much, but it will give you the ability to use, to press the button. I don't know, that's about 400 times or something. So, we're not running after you for a credit card. Literally go and pop the hood in this and give it a go. And you get an hour's worth of onboarding with it as well. I'm really keen to show you how you can start to crack this. Yeah, that's the page goes there.
So if people want to try this as well, and I think some of the things to think about, if you think about like the future of AI is stuff like this, and what we talked about for me, what I think is going to be important moving forward that people are not even thinking about yet is like the security of your information and your data, and starting to explain that to companies, because so many companies are like, yep, ChatGPT, it's amazing. And if we start to explain to them that, hey, if we can do this in a more secure environment, you want to keep your information secure, like data sovereignty. Some people, they've never even thought about like, where is their data? Where is it held? That's important for a bunch of different reasons, for legal reasons, for speed of getting their content as well, getting stuff processed. If it's in the right country, or the same country as you are, you can get stuff processed faster, even though that it might seem minimal to some people. There can be lags on stuff if you've got it stored in different countries and different servers and hosting around the globe. But explaining this to clients and getting them on board with that kind of information about security, that kind of one-off training and keeping it up to date is what I think is very cool as well, because we all know what it's like. I mean, I've got little agents in ChatGPT that program for certain things as well. But having a set base that it's like, this is the company that you work for, and then you plug in someone and you go, all right, you're the admin assistant, and then that's what they're told. But they already know they're the admin assistant for this company. This is what this company does, and this is where all its information is. It's so much quicker than creating a new agent. Go, you are the admin agent for this company. Here's the URL. This is a policy. These are the things you should know. These are the products and whatever. Like, you got to do that each time. You can just start plugging in more agents, and you've got that base. So it's like having a what do you call it? Like your company playbook. You know what I mean? It's like every employee when they come to a new company should read like the company playbook, right? You have to create that, bring it to them. If you're the perfect company, you've got a great one of those that everyone can. They come on board, they read it, and go, awesome. I know the company, I know the values, I know the mission, I know the products, I know where to find things, I know who's who in the zoo kind of thing and what's in charge. That's sitting there, and then you just plug people straight into it. And this is your company playbook, really, that you can then just add people into.
Yeah, and I think Gary, it's a little bit like snapshots. If you're in JHL in a way, you can have agents that you can build that are specialists for your business and your clients. You can then put them into your clients' accounts. It's a new service. It's another service that you can add that has a dramatic impact on your clients' businesses. And I'm going to show you some. So let's go and do this. So so just think that all of these endpoints can transform your workflows, and we're going to go and, because we're running out of time, but there are two things I really want to show you. So I'm going to show you this working on so your AI is plugged into our GHL chat. Can you see my chat all right?
Yes, come out.
Perfect. And if I just start a new chat here, so click here. We have, sorry, apologies, GHL, but there's a little bug with this at the moment, in with it keeps creating a new user. What is, or how do I build? How can I build an agent? Now, we all know with chat that, and we know that you can, with GHL, you can build out stuff, but it's the level of personalization is not as great as what you can get here. So this is feeding off our Notion in real time. So if we update our Notion, it updates our support files, and it will send people back to our Notion if they want more information. So so it's given me, to build an AI agent, great. Connected. But these help bots, I think, with good AI agents, transform businesses really fast. And this is something I would strongly recommend you start with, because you've got such an amazing tool with the web chat, but building out something that's really deep with a client's business is so simple but so powerful, and so fast. It's mind blowing. Any questions on that before I jump on? Because I've got a couple more things I want to show you before I leave you. So but if you jump on the URL, which I'll give you at the end, we'll show you exactly how to get this set up. But it changes the game of support completely.
Can you drop that URL in the chat, actually, Polly? Sorry, I should have said that. If you drop it in there, I'll make sure that it's with this, because we'll post this in our Facebook group, and then it'll be on YouTube. So if anyone's watching this, the URL that Polly's putting here in the chat for me now, we'll make sure that this is somewhere in the description or comments. So just look somewhere below and you'll find that.
So, Polly, essentially what you're saying is that you can use an agent to actually build other agents, right? So, for instance, if you're working with various small businesses, plumbers, electricians, and so on and so forth, you can actually maybe have some type of framework where you can tell the agent, okay, this is a plumber, and this is an electrician, and based on, a certain standard type of information that a plumber would use, an electrician would use, this agent can go off and create other agents to run that business. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah, so the new agent builder we're releasing will literally let you chat to it like you're chatting to me, and it will build. It's got it behind the scenes. It's got all the magic sauce that we've learned over the last 18 months, as sort of agents have become a thing, baked into it. So rather than having to learn about agents, that's already done, and you can build your own agents for your clients. And yeah, you can make agentic processes for them very simply. There is a little learning curve at the beginning, but we are, particularly the next release, really starts to enable you to accelerate that and achieve magic very quickly. I want to show you one thing, Pedro, which I think will bring that to life for you. I've set our team a task, which is that I'm rather bored of doing webinars like this. No offense to you, but I want to actually be able to eat our own dog food, and show you how we have totally transformed our business. So one of the things that we do is that we have a cold outreach process where we ask people to interview them, and we periodically build a white paper. And I said to the team, come on, we're going to use our own process to transform our business. So we've absolutely smashed our cold outreach, doing a great job with it. And we've done over 600 one-on-one interviews now, but it actually created a monster for us, because we've now got to process all these white papers. We've got massive leads. We've got to create all these proposals. We've got to create all these agents, hence building this new agent builder. That means literally you can talk to it and it builds out the agent for you. And then we're now creating the white paper agentically as well. So we've also got an integration with Make. And we're transforming our daily interviews with business owners into an intelligence engine. So literally based on what people are telling us, it's helping us build our web content, it's helping us build our use cases, it's helping us create our social media. So all of the nuggets from the calls we're turning into social media content, and produce strategies for our product going forward based upon what everybody's telling us about where they are with AI. We're building this out in Make using our Make integration. So if you like, each one, this is not. I wouldn't go and do this tomorrow if you're just starting the journey, but this is just to give you a glimpse of the possible, and you can get there quite quickly. It means that literally, we've turned a Firefly's call into a way to create the content for our business, update our CRM, take cold prospects to be a warm qualified prospect. And each one of these little black dots is an agent doing a specific thing. Now, if I wanted to do this with people, I'd probably need to treble the size of my team, and I can't do that. We will be doing a webinar on exactly this process sometime in the next month. Gary, I'm very happy to share the link with your guys. We'd love to see you on it, because we think this is really, if you like, this is one Firefly's transcript.
Sign me up. I need this. Like what you
Gary,
just said there, we've got so much content from the lives and everything that we do. I need this.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking
Well,
we'll have a private chat, Polly, because you're gonna have to show me this.
yeah, no, and that's the thing, Gary. We all do endless webinars, right?
Yeah.
We all create content all the time, but it's just one thing.
Mm.
And imagine if after this call, for example, Gary, it went through this process. The people on the call are really engaged. It updated their CRM record. It updated it with their questions, and then you just know the process is running. You just know that you've done your webinar, and rather than having to then do the follow up behind it, it's learned it. And that for me, this is agentic AI, because it's how do you take the quality bit that the humans deliver, which is this is the engagement, it's the talking, and then turn it into a process that delivers value to the business. And I'm so excited about this, because this makes work more fun.
I need this, Polly, in my life.
Okay, Gary. You can be the next victim, and then we can talk about it together. I'd love
100%,
that. So
100%.
Perfect. But our tagline that we came up for the beginning of this year, which is maybe anything is possible, is really becoming a reality. We're super excited about it. What you can do with Agentic is really mind blowing. Go take it for a test drive. Mavytech.com/GHL. Jump in, sign up, and you'll come to. It will take you into GHL. We've still got it as a private app at the moment. You'll be signed into it, but then you'll get a link to book a call. Please do book a call, and you'll meet our Chief Product Officer called Emo, who is really good at helping people get the most from AI. So yeah, don't miss that opportunity of an hour with him, because it's pretty valuable stuff.
I met Emo in Dallas in the summit. Yeah,
awesome.
Smart cookie.
Any questions, guys? You've been I hope I've made some sense, because it's some crazy clock here.
Yeah, Polly, you've done well.
This is fascinating, Polly. I mean, my mind is kind of whirling right now, just kind of thinking of how this can be used. For example, one of the businesses is financial services business, insurance based. And so in addition to having clients, we also recruit agents. Now, we recruit people who might be licensed and who might not be licensed. The ones that are not licensed need to go through a process, an onboarding process, get licensed. And there are a number of different steps along the way so that they can become licensed. Once they're licensed, then, they go through an 8-step process to get their first sale, make the first $1,000, and so on and so forth. And then there's training that they have to do, and so on. So I'm just kind of picturing and seeing this as maybe having agents that can basically track that whole process, see where they are along that journey, and be able to recommend, okay, now if you completed this, then the next thing you need to do is this. And basically kind of keep track in GHL of, the journey of various agents as they come in. And, so it can be reflected on a dashboard, things like that. So I'm beginning to look at all these different ideas, just different things. And
Pedro, you're 100%. I mean, that's absolutely something that it could do. And the way to start that journey is to just do one piece of it. So think of it in the sense of, like you said, if they've got to do, give you an example. So we're building out some crisis agents where the user says, I've got a problem, and it says, right, before you do anything, have you done these things? So if you take the process that your agents have got to go through, each stage is an agent, and it says what you have to do before you move to the next stage. If you've got that written down as a process, you can build an agentic flow for it. Would be really, and right now, from our perspective, we love working with people that have got something they want to achieve, because actually what the world wants is case studies for this right now. They want to be able to see how you fix stuff. So we're really in mega help mode right now. We've got an amazing piece of kit. And anybody that's got a problem they want fixing right now, we're in the business of holding a hand to make sure it happens, because we want to tell you a story.
Awesome. Thank you, Polly. Thank you.
Bring it along, Pedro. We'll make it happen.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Polly. I mean, like I've played with this, and I've only set up the basics at the end of the day. Like I said, I think I know a bit, but then I tip into these things, and then you start talking about stuff like that. I'm like, oh God, I don't know anything. But it's definitely, there's a few things that we need to look at there with this for sure, internally for us in terms of our operations. We can definitely use this for. So I think we'll be utilizing things a little bit more. I definitely need that. I need that workflow from you. So I'll hit you up for that. But thank you so much. I don't know if we have any last questions from anyone, or we will let you get back to bed, Polly. And thank you so much for making the time, getting up and then staying up. Appreciate it so much.
My pleasure. Love to meet you all.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Polly. Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Great to see
rest of your day, or day for us,
you.
night for you. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
thanks, Polly. Thanks, Gary.
Bye.
Pleasure. Nice to see you.